Hey yo, welcome to Beyond the Mat, where it's all about the things and stuff. It's like this and like that, sitting in a lotus seat. We breathe deep from our heads to our feet till we feel inner heat. A little bit of rhythm for your soul, stretching out your minds from your head to your toes. We in our flow state, we don't know no hate. We into feeling great though, so we correlate. Coil snake gonna rise, sunshine. We take our time to appreciate divine grace. It takes place in a pace in them inner states. From a country road down to the interstate, we contemplate this. We here to make this. We here to break this. But we never fake this. We never hate kids. We in the love vibe. Me and my whole tribe. We gonna try to be fly with the sunshine. Hey you, all you lovely beyonders out there. Keep up the good work, folks. You're out there doing it. I'm out there doing it. Anyone who has ever tried yoga is out there doing it. What are they doing? They are out there. We interrupt this introduction with another, more important introduction. I wrote a freaking book! I wrote a book. Buy my book. Pre-order my book. Buy the ebook. Printed books are coming soon. juiceeeee.ca. This book is called How to Calm the Fuck Down, a Meditator's Guide. I don't think I really need to say any more about it, but in case the title threw you off a little bit, it's a book about calming the fuck down with meditation. And now for your regularly scheduled program. Beyonding, that is, experiencing life beyond the mat. We're gonna try something different, a little different today, folks. As you see, this here background music usually stops and starts again with some weird radio glitches here and there, and a commercial at the first and then a little recap at the end. Well, that shit is still gonna happen, but we're gonna let the music play throughout the entire episode, lightly in the distance. All the background music is from a YouTube channel called No Copyright Music. I love this channel. I listen to it all the time. And they put this stuff out there to let people use it for their projects. We talked about this in a past podcast with Karina Pardis, who is a composer. So there are pros and cons to having pre-manufactured free-for-all sounds in your project. For example, one, you cannot get into the nuts and bolts of the sound to remove, for example, if I wanted to take out a few of the drum hits and have just the other music playing, can't do it. You need the original music file to do that sort of stuff. Two, everyone else gets to use it too. So it's not really yours. It's a shared piece of art that everyone can use, which in its own way is kind of cool. The upside is that it's free, of course. And the other upside for me, because I do make these sorts of beats myself, I produce hip-hop beats, the upside is that I don't have to do it myself. I don't have to sit and click 1,000 clicks. I don't have to spend the time to make a little something that's just going to be used for this what I'm using it for. I mean, it's cool though. It's all just there for us to use. If, however, you do choose someone like Karina to make your music, you're getting it tailored to just how you need it to be, and it's yours. You own it. It's a part of your brand. It's a part of your image. It's a part of your signature sound. Today's show is brought to you by the good people over at juiceeeee.ca, where if you scroll on down to the bottom, there's a section dedicated to this artwork. And this artwork, let me just tell you a thing or two about this artwork. It makes me have these flashbacks to those times when our minds had been catapulted open, when our inhibitions were lowered, when we might have said exactly what we were thinking in that very instant that the thought came through, and that thought was pure love. If you like love, then you'll surely enjoy one of these pieces of artwork, for they are the embodiment of all things that are love in this world. juiceeeee.ca. Buy yourself some love. But alas, folks, that's not the only way you can get one of these pieces of art. If you sign up at patreon.com/beyondthemat, make a donation, you're automatically entered into a draw to win a piece of art of your choosing. That's right, if you win, you get to choose which one you want from the 2018 collection, and it will be shipped to your door free of charge. So that means instead of forking out anywhere from 80 to 100 for a print, you could instead potentially win a piece of art by only ever donating $1 freaking dollar, man. It's so cool. Such a good deal for everyone. And if you win the art, there is no obligation to continue donating each month afterwards. You can shut that right off immediately after winning. I won't even be mad about it, bro. What's wrong, bro? You mad, bro? No, I'm not. Do it. This is how it works. So head on over to patreon.com/beyondthemat. Send your donation. Please leave proper contact info so you can be entered in the draw. And that's it. Oh, one more thing. The draw is only going to happen once a certain monetary threshold has been reached before the raffle happens and the name gets drawn. Enough of this silly business. Let's get down to the real reason we're all here. Today's guest is one of my bestest and longest lasting friends on this planet, who goes by the name of Nayles. Nayles is a hip-hop artist and an art artist too. He does amazing graffiti and he's one of the best graphic designers I've ever seen in my life. Nayles is here dropping some science about his life's adventure. We both lived in Los Angeles together. I was there for a year, but he was there for about 2 years, I think. And so we talk about that whole thing and what happened to both of us after we said our goodbyes at LAX. This is our first real full conversation since all of that went down back in 2015. So there's lots of good juicy juice in this episode, folks. And so please, ladies and pistachios, make some nut cracking noises for the amazing Nayles. All right, welcome to Beyond the Mat. This is my new podcast, man. Thanks for being here. You've been on my old podcast before, and it's go time. This is it. We're doing it. We're live. Oh. I already did like a little intro. I do like an intro before this, so I'll introduce you and everything, so you don't gotta worry about saying any of that shit. I'm good, man. Good. I'm good.
We probably shouldn't be recording that part then.
I'm good. How are you doing? What's new? What's new?
Leave it in.
What's So why are you here on my show? What's going on?
Why are you here on my show? Yeah. Well, I just gave birth to a new me.
Oh, crazy! That's why you gained all that.
Not a real human child.
Oh.
But kind of. I'm the human child that rebirthed.
You rebirthed your own self as a human child out of your old self into a new self. That makes sense.
What's so hard about that to believe?
Oh man.
That's normal, right?
Yeah, the inside joke of everything that only a couple people are going to understand what we're talking about today. That's okay. This show is for them. Fuck. Man, so okay. The last time that I saw you, like as a person in physical form, I was getting on a plane at LAX to flee America because I had overstayed my welcome. And I had to get out because otherwise bad things were going to happen. And
well, yeah, they would have came to you at our house and probably not in a good situation. And made you leave the country. And not only made me leave, but like, am I allowed to get my stuff? Can I grab my laptop? Can I take my clothes? Or is it just handcuffs in a car? Can I say goodbye? Like, can I have one last drink down at the beach? Like, what's the format here? So like, I don't know. I think they just take you.
I think they just take you too. But yo, here's the other thing, man, like that I only just thought of like right now, just this very second thinking about it, is that fuck, that would have put you guys on some weird list that you're harboring illegal aliens at that address, and they probably would have kept like fucking checking in all the time, like how many Canadians you got in here now?
Yeah, how many got wrangled up there, right?
Yeah. Like shit.
Whew. Maybe they did, maybe they would, maybe they do.
Fuck. So, okay.
But
so
I've
a lot of the people that, you know, me and you met, and you know, the ones that didn't die.
Yeah.
But I kept in contact, and now we're like, as a music artist, I'm gonna be going over to Europe in December. It looks like.
Sweet. To Europe.
So I'll be going over there with like, it's my label Lab Rat Records is in just outside of London, England.
Yeah.
And it's a place called Canterbury, and they want to have me and Pause One over there to do a tour in December, because that's when I have time off work or whatever. But yeah, it's looking like I'm gonna be doing like France and Amsterdam, like Netherlands, like like London,
shit.
England, and like all these like crazy places, man.
Oh shit. Amsterdam. Oh
That's
shit.
Well, we just gotta find out if Pause can leave the country or not.
Oh my god. Fuck.
Yeah, he's got some old shit, but that's all right. Hopefully, he'll be able to get past all that and make the tour.
Man, it's weird. It's usually the states that doesn't let people back, that doesn't let, like, quote unquote criminals into their country. Because, like, fuck, they got enough criminals there already. Like a drunk driving charge in Canada, and you can't even cross the border. Like, it's weird. Like, oh, you smoked a joint and now it's legal, but you smoked it when it was illegal, so now you're not allowed into the States. Like, it's weird. Like, they got that shit locked down, but I don't think other countries are that strict.
Yeah,
so.
It must be in like a category, like, you know what I mean, or in like a set list of things that keeps you out, and that just happens to be on the list. You know what I mean? Like, it's a pretty lesser charge than anything.
Yeah,
but then again, it's also, you were also intoxicated driving around on public roads, and basically everyone was a potential victim.
Yeah, you're putting everyone at risk, right? So you're a risk maker.
Yeah.
You're a risk maker, risk taker, living on the edge, ridge running.
And just as you would, you know, waving a gun around.
Yeah, it's the same thing, man. Cars are just bigger bullets.
Yeah, cars are really bigger bullets.
Yeah. Shit.
You can probably aim them better too.
Yeah, but not when you're drunk.
And
Holy fuck.
take out more with one shot.
Man, I hate to say this, but as someone who has driven drunk thousands of times, I gotta say, it's not the easiest thing to do. You got one eye open, and you're like swerving. And you're like,
Oh, I thought when you're aiming for people.
Oh.
It's not the easiest thing to do.
You up on the sidewalk. You're lucky I'm drunk. I'd have fucking hit you if I was
sober. You know
sober.
how hard it is to take out a family, man? That takes skill.
Takes years of practice.
Years of practice, and you'll get that family yet.
We'll get them. We'll get them someday. We'll get all the points. You'll get that grandma with a walker. Bam. Fuck.
Yeah.
So I hopped off the plane. So I got off the plane in Edmonton, Alberta, because I'd never been out west before, and I wanted to come explore, and I had friends who like hooked me up with a job and everything. A fucking job I lasted 3 days at, by the way. 3 days pouring concrete forms in the hot burning sun. I was like, man, I've been at Gold's Gym. I got all these muscles and shit now. I get out there, start pouring concrete, putting up these forms, which are like, I'm like, okay, I have like vanity muscles from Gold's Gym. I don't have real man muscles, because dudes are picking up like two of these, like the thickest plywood, like 2 1/4 inch plywood, giant plywoods. They're picking them up. They're covered in cement. They're walking around with them, throwing them around. I'm there like a little baby trying to pull one of them across the ground, and they're all standing laughing at me like, who the fuck is this guy? Like, you know, and like, I got like a side, man, we were doing good at Gold's Gym. Like, I looked back at some pictures and like, shit, we had like, I was like getting a little ripped. Had weight. I was like 180 pounds, dude. And so like, it was funny to see, I'm like struggling. I'm like, I can't.
And somehow we were degenerate, unhealthy drug addicts.
Oh yeah. Oh fuck yeah. So okay, So I hop off the plane, and man, the tires hit me right off the plane. And I'm like, fuck, how am I going to get through tonight? Because our friend Sarah had invited me to
tires hit you?
The tires. Like the
tires of the plane hit you?
No, like the because I was out on the runway and I was trying to direct the traffic. I thought I could do a better job than the guy. You know, they said I'd have a job right away. Like, I think this is it. I'm gonna go direct some traffic. But no, the tires came. The sleepies, they came like right away. And fuck.
Right.
So I'm trying to figure out Edmonton, and Edmonton is laid out in a grid, and it's all a number system. So every road is like 1st Street, 2nd Street, 3rd Street, and then it goes up. So the bottom
53rd Street, yeah.
So the 100 blocks are like up after like downtown, and below downtown to the south it's like below the 100 streets, and then to the left, it's just so fucking confusing, dude. And I'm like trying to take an Uber, trying to get my phone to work, trying to find data, trying to hook up a credit card to my phone to get like data and shit. Like I don't know. And I got the tires hitting me, and I'm like passing out as I'm like standing just outside. And then I get to my buddy's house where I was staying, and our friend in LA had thrown some things in my bag as like a little pick-me-up.
Okay.
So I had some little pills in my bag, and I was like emptying out that I forgot all about. So those had gone through the whole system of flying on a plane, some like prescription drugs. And nothing happened, no. But, so I'm at my buddy's house, and I'm like, okay, I gotta go meet Sarah. We're going to a folk festival, because her friend from Bathurst, or wherever, Plaster Rock, some famous folk singer guys playing, and plus I hadn't seen Sarah in like 10-15 years. So man, I'm like passing out, and then I'm emptying out this bag, and I'm packing my clothes where I'm gonna put them at my buddy's house, and then these pills fall out. I was like, oh my god. Yum num num num. Well fuck, I'm up for like I'm awake for like another 3 days. Oh, I'm like,
that's,
good.
That's like the most lucky thing ever.
Oh, I'm like, good way to start my sobriety here. Turning over a new leaf. Num num num.
Let me eat all these.
Yeah.
Was I that friend?
No, well, I didn't want to say his name, but you know, buddy with the bass guitar. His name rhymes with Saul.
Yeah. Our good friend
Larry. The pills also, the name of the pills also rhyme with Saul. Saul-a-lol.
But not the name.
Oh, fuck.
It's kind of out there. That's okay. That's okay.
Yeah, so that was the beginning, man.
So you went to a festival right after, as soon as you get there.
As soon as I get there, out all night till like wee hours of the morning, and then Sarah's like, bye, and she hops in a cab and leaves. And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, I thought we were like partying, man. Like, I thought this was like gonna be a fun time. No, a festival apparently in Edmonton shuts down at 11 o'clock at night, and everybody goes home. The other weird shit was, dude, there was over 10,000 people at this festival, and literally everyone in the field was sitting down. And we're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And we're standing up, and we're like dancing at the front of the stage, because we got like VIP access, got put right in at the front of the stage. Everyone's all pissy looking at us like, who are they? And we're dancing, and everyone's like, sit down, we can't see, sit down. And we're like, no, you get up and dance.
Yeah, no doubt.
Like, what the hell? Who goes to a festival to sit down on a fucking blanket?
That sounds like the lamest festival in the world.
Well, it was a folk festival, dude. It's folk music. It's like banjos and
it's
folk, like folk, F-O-L-K, like old people, like old, you know, banjos and guitars and people playing the fiddle and shit like that. So it was kind of a weird thing, but it's a weird thing to be.
I guess, like,
it's a weird thing to be.
Everyone's all mellow, and you're all fucking jacked up.
Oh yeah, that was the weird part. The folk music was fun. Me, out of my tree, it was like a little much. But I got through it. The next 3 days.
So you got through day one.
Got through day one. The next 3 days were like hell, dude. And I'm like I said, I'm dragging boards across the yard. And then the tires start hitting me again. And I'm like passing out like as I'm doing things. So I'm like handing a guy a hammer and I'm just like, I just conked out. And then like, Jay, come back. And I like wake up, I'm like, what? So like you just kind of like spaced out there for a minute, dude, like with your eyes open. So I'm like falling asleep with my eyes open, trying to do shit like hammer and construct things and do clamps and lift heavy shit. Like, yeah, like totally out of my element. I'm fucking pouring sweat. Like, it's just a horrible time. I ended up making like $1,600 though in like 3 days of work. So that was nice. A nice little boost to put in the pocket. And then I was like, okay, fuck this job. I'm gonna go find some shit that I'm qualified to do. And then, that was the beginning of the end of Edmonton, because Edmonton fucking sucks, dude. If you've ever been there, you can see all the way across the whole province. You can see all the way across the whole city, no matter where you are. It's so flat, and the people are flat, and everything's gray. All the buildings are gray.
Everything's flat.
Everything's gray and flat, and the
coin, unusually round. Spherical.
Yeah.
The
The coins.
The coins in cardboard cutouts for 3D for some reason.
Oh, they popped. They popped right now.
Yeah.
The big thing in Edmonton is video games. Staying home with your buddies and playing video games. Oh, and pickup trucks. You have to drive a pickup truck and play video games. If you do that, you're cool. You're in. You're gonna make it. You're gonna make it just fine. If you out there, listeners,
like hell.
If you listeners have dreams of going to Edmonton, just show up with video game systems and a pickup truck, and you'll do all right. You'll have lots of friends, and you'll have lots of shit to do. You'll be going to buddies' houses to play video games, and they'll come to your house to play video games. Nobody goes out to do anything. Nothing ever goes on. The bars are dead, except for this small, like, downtown area where the university is. And that's it. That's Edmonton. So I quickly convinced my friend I was staying with. So I left this buddy's house to go stay with a different friend. And I was like, yo, let's not live here anymore. Let's fucking leave. Let's take the rent, which was like $2,000 rent that we had worked all month for, and let's just bail and go to BC and not know where we're gonna go. She's like, okay. So we sold all her shit, put her cat and a dog in a van, and then we hopped in a van and just started driving. Like, nowhere to go, no destination, just fucking driving into BC. And that was it, man.
Sounds like fun.
Yeah, fuck. It's so nice, like, out here, though. And then you get, once you leave, like, once you leave Alberta, everything just changes. It just turns into, like, beautiful rainforest everywhere. And then the people are nice, and there's fruit stands everywhere, and vegetables everywhere. And I don't know, it just turned out amazing. And I went to Nelson, which is up in the Kootenay Mountains, and I lived in Nelson for, like, 9 months before I was like, okay.
That's where Elvis is?
Elvis, I think so, because everyone there just listens to Elvis.
Elton John?
And Elton John. Elton John and Elvis are doing like collabos up in the mountains. I don't know if any of it's gay or anything. I don't know anything about that side of it, but everyone there strictly listens to Elvis and Elton John. And sometimes they'll put like 2 turntables.
Elton John can be pretty persuasive, so maybe Elvis showed him his hound dog.
It ain't nothing but a hound dog. There was a little more than a hound dog. There were some hound cats, hound hamsters, hound rhinoceros, and rhinoceroses, plural. But sometimes you put like...
Why is it brown? Why is everything brown?
It's brown because there's no real septic system, so everybody just shits where you are. Like if you're walking down Main Street and you gotta shit, you just shit, you know, like a horse does. So we just you walk in shit everywhere and it's just brown. So that's
I guess you don't want to go for a pap smear there or any sort of
It's already.
I guess an enema would just be paint.
But the pap smear is already been smeared, so it's just a pap. The smearing is done.
Oh, okay.
You just pap it.
Well, good. I hate when I don't get away with that.
Yeah.
I just want to do a pap. I don't want to smear at all.
Oh, but man, see, you got to go to Nelson, British Columbia, and they will hook you up with a pap. So the fuck, man, that's what I did. And then I went to yoga school, and then I traveled back to Halifax for a few months, and then came back out here because the East Coast sucks. I love you guys. I love the East Coast. You're my favorite place, but it sucks.
Yeah, but it sucks.
But I love you guys. I love you guys. I love the people there, but it sucks. Like, man.
Yeah, I love the people. I wish I could transport them to a cooler place.
Yeah, if I could bring everyone here, then this place would probably start to suck. But I'm not going to say
everyone
that.
From the East Coast. All the good people.
Just the good ones. Honestly, man, I've thought about that so many times. If I could throw like a party and I got to pick everyone who's invited from anywhere on the earth, it would be like the sickest party ever. Because I know I could pick all the right people who would all get along like perfectly. There'd be no fights. There'd be no arguments. You wouldn't need like bouncers or anything like that. You wouldn't need security.
Because, just to make it interesting.
A couple what? What?
Are you there?
Yeah. What did you say? A couple serial
Did I
killers?
lose you?
No, I'm here. You say a couple serial killers?
Did I lose you?
No, I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you. Hello?
Hello? Yo.
Yeah, that was weird. I heard you the whole I heard you the whole time. You're like, hello? I don't know what happened to my end.
Cool, keep it on. Keep it in.
Oh, fuck.
We'll put some sound effects or something, make it sound cool, and bring it back.
Yeah, we'll do a little commercial or something.
So that was our segue, and before the break, we were talking about
the best party on earth, where we invite all of our best friends. No assholes. And we all live together in a beautiful commune, where life is perfect. Nobody has money, nobody has to work.
Nobody just does favors.
Everyone just does favors for everyone. There'd be like this crazy.
Blowjobs and hand grenades.
Blowjobs and hand grenades. Man, there'd be the craziest like bookkeeper trying to keep track of what everybody owes each other. It's like, okay, so I helped you build your house. So
that were,
you now have to let me. You have to let me live in your house for this many days, or you have to give me this many chickens. I don't eat chickens, so I'm gonna have to trade those chickens for the goats that I do want. Oh,
how many goats are a house worth?
Oh, but how many chickens is a house worth? Or
how many goats is a house worth? There, I've been smoking weed. I've been smoking weed the whole time we've been talking.
Man, I'm down. I try like once a month, and I do an edible extract that I make with like coconut oil.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, holy shit.
I remember the oil you made when we were in LA. That was good stuff.
Oh man. Yeah, that's good. Try being fucking sober for 30 days and then taking some oil. Holy shit. Like I'm out for I'm out for a week. A whole week. I just have a fucking brain fog and I can't think and I can't walk straight and I can't make decisions. And I just tell everyone, I'm like, look, I'm in my week of, don't ask me anything. All I can do is go to work and come back home and then watch some Netflix. That's it. There's no, like I can't be trusted. I can't be trusted right now to make any sane decisions.
I kind of went the other way with what I've been up to.
Oh fuck!
I've been very aware of what I've been doing. Then I built a shelf.
Just a shelf though, because that's all you're gonna build.
But the thing about being very, very aware of everything is you're not aware of what you look like.
Yeah, that's the weirdest thing. You're like so like hyper focused and hypersensitive and like hyper aware to everything except like your own self. No, you don't want to look because you're scared. Because you're like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
I'm gonna.
Because when you do,
that's when the judgment.
You look like fucking shit.
Yeah, that's when the judgment starts coming, and you're like, oh fuck. Oh, what have I done?
That's when the paranoia starts, because you know you look like shit, and you know other people know you look like shit because they look at you because you look like shit.
And everyone's staring at you weird, and you're like, I hope they're not looking at me weird because of why I think they're looking at me weird. Meanwhile,
that's exactly why they're staring at you weird, because you look like a piece of shit that just came out of an ass.
Came out of an asshole. Why you looking at me? You look at me like I got. You looking at me like I got. You looking at me like I got shit on my face? You kind of do look like you got shit on your face.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
You have shit where your face used to be.
Man, and like your lips are like so dehydrated and dried out that they look like an asshole. They're like a puckered asshole of lips. So people are kind of looking at your lips like, is that his face? Or is that... Is he walking upside down? Some people think that all you need is a sandwich, but that's not always the case. Because, like, fuck, dude.
People say I don't wash my face.
I eat too many chocolate bars.
Because my brother says I don't even have a face.
Oh, fuck. Man, but I've partied and I've eaten those sandwiches. And it don't matter. Like, you can eat and eat all you want. It's still gonna turn out the same way. That's the weird thing.
Well, yeah, when you're high.
Yeah.
But so when you went out to Alberta, I stayed in LA for another, I don't know how long. I don't even remember when I left LA. But we left LA in a huge daze. We were doing every drug we found, and then we decided we're gonna move to Toronto and start a rap crew with 6 other dudes from all over. And so we got a mansion just outside Toronto.
Yeah, I remember that.
And that lasted about 6 months because we're all party animals and we all think we're the most important one in the group.
Yes.
So you put enough cooks in the kitchen and no one eats. You know what I'm saying?
So nobody wanted to be the drummer, is what you're saying.
Yeah, basically everyone was the superstar. Including myself.
Yeah.
Including myself.
Yeah. It's all lead singers.
That lasted about 6 months. Then, one by one, people started dropping off, and we couldn't afford the rent, so I had to make a move. And my mom lives in Niagara Falls, so she said, well, come here. I'll give you a place to live, and we'll get you a job.
Right.
So,
but like, wait, wasn't it? It was more complicated than that, because didn't some like girl get dropped off at your doorstep or something? Like there was some kind of
yeah,
like to complicate things.
I tried to get my boy Clutch involved in this music thing, and he said he's gonna find a way down and come live with us, and everything's gonna be great. And that was supposed to be the way it was gonna be. And I said, whatever you do, don't bring a girl, because girls will complicate this situation.
Yeah.
And it's just gonna ruin the whole vibe of what we're trying to do.
Right.
So what does he do? He shows up high at 3 in the morning with some bitch in her car. That's what I saw at the time. That's what it was. It was like, oh my god, he shows up. He's got this girl with him. In her car, apparently.
Oh god.
And so everything's going all right. And then we decide as a group, we're going to sober up after a few days of partying, and we're going to stay sober.
Right.
And
like get some work done, kind of thing.
What?
And like get some work done, right? Like sober up, make some
moves.
Take it
seriously, and use this mansion that we live in. Like it's got 2 kitchens, and like it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And we wanted to keep this place, and we wanted to do this music thing, and try to get a real crew going.
Right.
And after about maybe a month of the sobriety thing, and just like not, them not having jobs. They just, landed. They're trying to find work and all this. He decides he's going to ask his girl at the time to make him some potatoes.
Yeah.
And so she goes into the kitchen, puts on some potatoes, starts cooking them for him.
Yeah.
So he can eat. And he left at the back door and went back to New Brunswick.
What?
And left this human person
Wait.
at our place.
So she was from the East Coast too?
Yeah, he was from the East Coast too.
Oh my fuck.
And he left. He just left. Oh, and don't not mention he got her car impounded. Her only possession. She got her car impounded the first week he was there. We went to a dispensary and he parked in the wrong place and he got it towed and it was illegal, so they couldn't get it back. So he completely ruins this girl, uses her all up for like all the money.
Oh my god.
And then the money's gone, money's gone, so he leaves. So it's deep. That was what I said. But
so now you
I
went.
bring this crazy girl to with me because I wasn't gonna leave her there, and we all had to disband, and people were moving back to Alberta, New Brunswick, and all over the place, New York, and whatever. And
Wait. So you brought her.
I only had a phone.
But wait.
All I had was a phone because I had my car and I had a job to go to. I knew that, and I got her a job even.
Yeah.
And then we got heavy into
the part. The
Badman.
Yeah.
And we both went crazy, and well, she drove me crazy, but we both went crazy, and I shipped her off to my dad's house. That was a mistake as well.
Well, wait.
Once I finally got everything.
Where's your dad? Where's your dad at this point?
My dad's in New Brunswick, and he was helping at a rehab facility, so I was trying to get her help and get her back to her kids.
Yeah.
And get back to my life, really.
Yeah.
And then I guess my dad was wasted when she showed up, and she felt all uncomfortable. So she went back to Moncton, and she just lived at people's houses. I'm not sure, you know what I mean? I guess she's doing okay now, so that's good.
Crazy.
But then shortly after that, I went into a dark hole, basically, and created this album. And that's all I did, because I didn't know anybody. It was kind of depressing, but it got a lot of good music out of me. And I think this new album that I'm working on, called Underground, appropriately named, but it has some really nice collabos on there. It's got a lot of explanation as to that little period of time. All the chaos of moving out of the country and back into a country, getting a mansion and thinking everything's going to be great with this crew, and like they're all super talented guys. We all lived in this great house. We all started getting jobs. Everything was cool.
Yeah.
And then everything just goes south once one person quit. And then now I'm in Niagara Falls. So I went from Los Angeles to Toronto to Niagara Falls.
Well, man, I don't know.
Since I've been here, I completed the album.
Yeah.
I sobered up. I got myself a great girl. And I got a really great job. And now I'm going to release this new album. And I got some serious people shopping it for me.
Man, that's awesome.
Which I can't say, but it's good, really good things are happening.
Sweet.
Yeah, it's been a ride, man. Since I last saw you, basically, that's it. That's it right there.
Well, yo, fuck, man. First of all, you're a better man than most people. They would have just left that chick there in the mansion and also ran out the back door.
Well, I couldn't do that. She was devastated. Like, you know what I mean? Like, she was like, what the hell? Like, my boyfriend, that, she loved him.
Yeah.
And it was just like, just left her. I was just like, wow, like did you not only not follow the rules, but you massively broke one in the complete opposite direction of any amount I could have thought becoming.
In like the worst way.
It was just insanely not the right thing to do.
Man, so, but looking at like...
I forgive him still.
Oh yeah. But looking at like the image kind of side of it all, like so yeah, everyone's living in a mansion. Like image wise, it looks cool. Everyone's doing well, rocking and rolling,
yeah,
making moves, making songs. Everyone's talented. Like it looks cool, but like, isn't it weird how like all of that is like just like for show almost, you know? And by stepping out of all that and going to like Niagara Falls to like where you're at now, and like dialing it all the way back to like bare bones kind of system, then you're able to like create, and then you're able to like really like do like awesome work and like reflect back on all the shit.
Well, I really believe it. That, like, you know, I think you probably do too, is success lies in the struggle. It's in there.
Yeah.
In there with everything that's going, you know, wrong, or, you know,
yeah.
It seems to be like part of it. It's part of the package. When you're creating, I mean, like when you're someone who creates.
Yeah. So there's this cool quote that I heard, and man, I've been saying it like it's my own quote, but it goes like this: nothing grows in the comfort zone. So like when you're comfortable, every day you're coming home and you're like, oh, I'm just gonna sit on the couch and watch some Netflix, blah, 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 eat some chips, blah, blah, blah. Fucking, you're so comfortable that you ain't doing shit. You're just laying around like a fucking layabout.
Yeah.
Nothing's gonna get done because you're comfortable, you're cozy.
There's an urgency to fix yourself. There's an urgency to express yourself as well.
Yeah, yeah. And like
all this turmoil and action and just craziness and like, you know, whatever the hell you're up to. But I mean, like all these things lead to that. Pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Like it led me directly. Like the first thing I wanted to do, I was like, oh my god, my life, like fuck. I live in a hotel with this crazy woman I can't get rid of. and I'm like on drugs, and like I'm trying to like not be like with my mom and everything.
Yeah.
I don't want to, you know, I don't want to be this crazy person. And I'm at the same time like trying to create this album because like everything. This whole album was created in a motel room.
That's man. That's part of the story though. Like that's like I wouldn't even hide that. Like
I don't know.
Like that's like
I had to yell I had to open my door and yell at people, shut the fuck up unless you want to be on the album. Get off my album. I used to yell that at the door because there's people coming in from like it's like a shady hotel, right? Like it's like the white people ghetto. It's pretty bad here. Like
oh, that's hilarious.
It really is like where I live. It's kind of like the white people ghetto, straight up.
Shut up or you're on my album.
Yeah, get off my album, and then I close the door.
Wow.
But
man,
no,
that's like...
I worked it out with the neighbor, and I had a booth set up here. I got my turntable set up here. I got like all that, everything I need, minus like a kitchen, basically. I got this like, it's a room, but I've like converted it into, you know, like, you know how I make shit like cool.
Yeah.
You know how I make shit cool.
Real cool, man.
But I have, like, if you saw my place, you'd be like, wow, that's the hotel room. Like, that's it. That's where I'm at. I spend most of the time at the girl's place. I just keep this for my studio and my cat, basically.
Cool.
Right, George?
How's George doing?
Props to George. The only famous cat I know. The coolest cat I know.
Coolest cat in music videos and shit. Like, yeah.
He's in the underground music rap videos in LA.
Yeah.
Like, what cat can say that?
What cat can say that?
This cat has heard more hip hop than any other cat. He's met more famous people.
Yeah.
He's hit that famous people.
George the General, man. Holy shit. He's the
I have
general.
to tell him, like, when he met Fella from the Far Side, he hit at him and splashed his hand. I'm just like, no, go hurt the Far Side, man.
Oh shit. Yeah, we got a cat here. We got a cat here. She is gangsta as hell, man. Her name is Popcorn. And
Popcorn?
Popcorn. And
Popcorn.
yeah, Popcorn the cat. And she is like as gangsta.
Like, yeah, Popcorn the cat. Doesn't he know me?
Man, she is like the queen bee of the house, and she's like reminds me of George in the sense that she is the general of the house. Like if she doesn't like someone, like she comes out with like this little walk, like this nasty, like boom, 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 and like I just picture her walking with like big ass gold links hanging off her neck. She got this swag. She'll like come over and like fuck people up. She hisses and swats at them, and it's like, yo, you don't even know this person. They've been in here like 5 minutes, and she's like, I hate you. But then if you're cool, the coolest.
Don't mess with me attitude. You know she's the alpha.
You know, yep, she's the alpha for sure. She's the.
Yeah, George is the alpha here, man. Like I gotta ask him if I can do shit. You know what I mean?
I'm like, can I please change your kitty litter now? It's starting to stink. No.
Yeah.
I got a few more shits left in there. No, I got more. There's more space. I can still get some.
And I'm like, George, stop being such a pussy.
He's like, I can't.
But he can't because he's a cat.
The cat. Hey. Oh man. So, have you ever watched Andrew Dice Clay? I was just watching him the other day. It's so fucking funny.
Not on purpose.
Oh my god. Just look up. I'll find it and I'll send it to you. It's so funny. He like opens up with. He comes out on stage smoking. This is like in the 80s, wearing a leather jacket. He looks like the Fonzie from Happy Days. He's smoking a cigarette. He's like, opening line. So I was eating this girl's ass. It's like, what the fuck? Everyone in the audience is like, oh my god, what did this man just say on stage? Oh, you know, because it's like the 80s, right? People weren't saying shit like that. People weren't talking about eating a girl's asshole.
All people are the people that got their ass eaten last night.
Yeah, everyone in that audience went home and was like, so what's this ass eating about? Let's try it out, honey.
So what's all this ass eating about the curious people that never got it?
Oh, I've never heard of this before. Must be a new sexual thing.
Something with the butt. I hear?
Yeah, something. So do you wash it first? Do you scrub it? Or do you not scrub it? Should I shave? I don't know how this works. There was no internet. You couldn't just look it up and be like, hey internet, what is ass eating? Like, I don't know. You could call someone, I guess.
What is ass eating? I bet that's been asked before.
I haven't been asked this question. You could probably call like one of those 900 numbers in a phone book or something. Someone might know. Like, I don't know.
I don't know how many 900 numbers have instructional ass cleaning seminars.
No, but like I'm just thinking like, you know, it's like they're like dirty, you're saying dirty shit, like, oh, you know, I don't know dirty shit. I'm not good at that, but people on those 900 numbers are saying dirty shit, so maybe they already know a little bit more what ass eating was back in the 80s, if you were so inclined to find out.
For more information, dial 1-604-262-BEEP-BEEP-39. We're waiting for your call now.
Bing bong bum 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 bum. Do you get the hold music? Dun, 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 dun. Man, this hold music is totally killing my boner.
It's just in.
In other news, the podcast comes to a crashing halt.
We kind of got away from reality.
Man, that's why I love doing these podcasts. You don't know where the fuck this shit's gonna go. It's just like pow, pow, pow,
pow. We want 900 numbers for ass cleaning and we're questioning it. Like what? That's where we're at. That's where we're at.
That's where we're at in life. This is good radio. This is solid radio, I tell you.
This is great radio. Great radio.
Oh,
even though it's not radio, but it's radio.
It's radio. This is the new radio. Man, so the Joe Rogan podcast now has more views than CNN and Fox News. More people are tuning into podcasts than the news because people don't trust the news anymore because it's fucking bullshit. And it actually...
They don't tell you the truth.
They don't tell you the truth because it's all fake news. Like, even the real news is fake news. There's a bunch of people running around.
The real news is almost fake news.
But, like, what is news anyways? Like, why do you even gotta, like, tell people shit? Like, I understand if a cat got caught in a tree in my neighbor's house, like, why the fuck does the whole city need to know that a fireman came and saved the cat? Like, why does everyone need to know that? Because they're trying to sell shit. Trying to sell you fucking cars and Bell high speed and shit like that. So, but like other than trying to sell you shit, what point is the news? Like, who cares? If anything's gonna happen, you're gonna hear about it right away. And even when it does happen,
anything that affects your life, it'll travel.
It'll travel right away. And if it doesn't affect your life, you're not gonna hear about it. So check this out. Here's something that happened a couple months ago. There was a huge earthquake, and we live right on the San Andreas Fault. So we're right in tsunami zone here. And a huge earthquake happened out in the ocean, and tsunami warnings went off. Sirens were sounding everywhere. People were like getting their kids up and going to these community centers. Everyone's heading up for the mountains, for high ground. Like, it was like a big fucking deal. I didn't know anything. I didn't know an earthquake happened. I didn't know a tsunami warning happened. I didn't hear sirens. Nobody said shit. I woke up the next morning and people in New Brunswick had already heard about it and were messaging me. I had like a flood.
And you hadn't heard about it and you're in it.
And I'm in it. And I hadn't even heard shit about it. So I'm like, clearly this wasn't really that big of a deal, was it? It's like, if it was a big deal.
They must have good weed out there, Jay.
Oh man, they got the best weed. And it's sad that the rest of the country is going the way that it's going, but BC already had legislation put in place years ago to protect like the dispensaries from being shut down. So none of that is happening here. The only thing they're gonna do is get rid of extracts, and they already got rid of edibles like a few years ago because they just can't monitor. And it's not even about the potency of it, it's that people were like not putting proper preservatives in it. So like people would make like a batch of brownies and it would sit there on the shelf and go moldy, and dispensaries were selling moldy brownies. So the government was like, all right, we can't, you guys obviously don't have proper food safety etiquette. You don't know how to make brownies that are gonna last. You don't know how to store them.
There's regulations when it comes to like consumables that way, like, you know, edible.
Yeah.
Edible anything.
Yeah, it wasn't about the potency or anything like that, but they're getting rid of the extracts too now in the next month. No one's gonna be allowed to buy dabs or any of that shit anymore, which is fine. I don't. That's shit's too powerful for me.
They have lots of dispensaries here, and in October apparently it's supposed to be legalized in Ontario for recreational use.
Yeah, all over Canada in October, but they're shutting down.
I knew it was Ontario. I didn't know Canada-wide.
Yeah, Canada-wide. And I'm not 100% up on the law in Ontario, but the rest of Canada, they're shutting down all the dispensaries. They've already started building. So the government wants to control it all. And the government has already started building, like in New Brunswick, they have Cannabis NB. And it looks just like a liquor store, but the sign says Cannabis NB. And you go in and you can get three strains that the government grows. You can get one hybrid, one indica, and one sativa. That's it. No extracts, no brownies, no fucking rolling papers, no bongs, nothing. Just the 3 strains and that's it. And that's what they're starting with. It's gonna grow from there. Obviously, when the liquor stores all started out, they didn't have a wide range of alcohol from all over the world like they do right now, but that shit will grow eventually. But until then,
you'll have to new flavors of everything all the time.
Yeah, it's there's not going to be Bubba Kush and Blue Dream this and whatever extravaganza that, like whatever strains. They're going to have 3 strains and that's it. So for a while it's going to suck, but eventually it'll be all right.
Well, it sucks.
I mean, you can literally walk in. You walk into a store. I mean, we've been dreaming about this our whole lives. Imagine someday you could buy weed at a store, and like now you can, and like people are still pissy about it. Like, no, it's not enough. You don't even need a card. You show your driver's license and buy some weed. Awesome. Same way when you buy booze. Show your driver's license, get some weed, get some booze, whatever. Man, I haven't had a drink. Fuck, that's not true. I had one drink like 3 months ago. Some friends wanted to go out, and I went out and I had 1 or 2 like shots of like spice rum or some shit. And man, I gotta tell you, I fucking hate it. I'm really not a drinker. I don't like the feeling. I don't like the feeling during it. I don't like the feeling the next day after. But before that, it'd been like a year or 2 since I had any, like even a shot or anything.
I'll drink half a beer, and I'll be like, I'll hand it to my girl, and I'll just be like, oh, yeah. I can't. No. I don't even want it. I don't even want a beer.
But
not even one.
It's the other thing for me, man. Fuck, it's a slippery slope. It's a slippery slope. Because So here's the weird thing. Have you ever tried kombucha? It's a fermented drink that has like 0.05 alcohol in it. You can buy it in like all the corner stores now.
I've had no drink.
It's a fermented tea. It's a tea. It's bubbly sometimes not. Anyways, after not drinking for so long, and then I drank a kombucha, holy shit. I was like, let's get some cocaine. Yeah, woo. I'm like taking my shirt off from like a 0.05. A 0.05. I'm like, man, okay, I really don't have a handle on things. I probably shouldn't be drinking this shit because like it is such a slippery slope for me. Like it just fucking goes down. I'm like, let's party. Woo. Who cares about my job? Who cares about life?
I want to do everything. Yeah, I know.
It's like,
that's why I don't drink anymore.
Oh, it's like I can't for that reason, and I don't like the feeling of it. It's I don't know, it's over. If you look back at like all the drinks I've drank in my life, I think we've put some away. Like both of us, I think I've had enough. I don't need to experience that again.
Yeah. I know the consequences. I know what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
I know everything.
Yeah. I don't have to go through this.
We've just been there and done that too much, you know?
Yeah, like I could stay home and save all my money and not wake up in some stranger's car in another province tomorrow, you know? Like that's happened. It's happened already. Like it's happened. Like,
you wake up in a strange girl's bed or a strange girl in your bed.
Yeah, either way, that part's cool,
you completely regret. No.
But do we ever really regret it, man? Come on.
You don't really.
Not really. No. You gotta tell your friends you regretted it, but deep inside you're like, yeah, that was so gross. Yeah. That's another one for the point system. So I just want to recap. So from LA to Toronto to Niagara Falls, and then you're gonna be in Europe if all goes well. I guess
Europe during Christmas time. That's gonna be completely insane if that really goes down. Because I want to go to the same place in Aldershot, England that my grandfather fought Nazis.
Yeah.
And I want to go to that place. I want to stand where he stood.
Yeah.
And just take it in, you know what I mean? And obviously just go kill a tour and do a great job and have a good time, obviously, and see crazy stuff I never thought I'd see in my life.
Yeah.
But cool thing is hip-hop brought me there. Doing drugs didn't bring me there. Being a nice guy didn't bring me there. Well, maybe being a nice guy a little bit.
Yeah.
Doing drugs and drinking and that sort of thing did not get me there.
No.
It's the music that got me there. The actual purity of the music itself.
That's how it goes, man.
And are we allowed to play a track on this?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. What do you got?
Okay. I got a track called "Burn 'Em Up."
Burn 'em up.
and it's basically all fire metaphors, but I think you'll really enjoy it. And I hope all the listeners do as well, because it's pretty much it's my favorite song on the album.
All right, cool.
On the new album that I'm currently like label shopping for.
Sweet.
But yeah, it's pretty funny. It's got some attitude to it, and a little bit of dark side, of course.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a good track. So just have a listen, and you can hit me up on Instagram, Nayles the Oddfellow, NAYLES THEODDFELLOW.
Woo! Awesome.
And I'd like to know what anybody thinks that is listening right now, and yeah, that'd be great.
All right, man. Cool. Thank you for being here. Thanks for doing the show. And everybody, enjoy the song, everyone. Goodbye.
My friend came to the door. She said, well, I was on the phone cooking me and my baby some breakfast. And she said, hey, something wrong. It's popping. I said, what? She said, yeah. I said, no. So the girl come downstairs. She come out her apartment with her baby with no shoes on. I said, oh, girl, it's cold outside. She said, something ain't right. I said, oh, man. She said, oh, man, building is on fire.
Burning all MC's brains, blocking out the enemy. Step out the sight. Vicious with the verbs, I'm wordier. You wanna burn it up? Run on us like this. Live forever till you start burning all MC's brains.
I'm like a fucking flamethrower. When I'm aiming to bat you burn out, you're flicking matches at me while I'm making your house burn down. Laughing at you, generic, one of them ill combustion. I'm smothering every one of them when they run with ill corruption. So I'm filling them up with gas and flammable objects to see if they can handle the panic of constant cannibal warfare. Boom, my lyrics into your head in a matter of minutes. I'm hoping it seeps fast. I'm a freak when I need to speed rap. Turn down that thermostat and jump inside of a freezer just to shield yourself from it. More fire building with each verse. You better grab your cat and pass him up out the window, cause I've been the high fireman and I never let you window. So not the hero, I'm a weirdo pyromaniac. So when I watch the embers burn, I mean your daughter, that takes me back. Up in smoke, don't worry, it's just a fucking joke. Hoping you choke on it, don't burn in your brain, I'm so dope.
Don't ever play with dangerous hot things that are meant for adults. Always be prepared in case of a fire emergency.
Burning all MC's brains, blocking out the enemy. Step out the sight. Vicious with the verbs, I'm wordier. You wanna burn it up? Run on us like this. Live forever till you start burning all MC's brains.
I'm just getting warmed up. My spark is burning canvas, so dedicated to heat, I reached out to Bernie Sanders. The human torch was denied a bank loan. Ironic, he got fired, wearing the flame retardant Kango. I spit in my gas tank, my saliva's gasoline. That's why I'm the guy surviving when I burn up half your team. When I was younger, I stuck my fingers up inside of a kerosene stove. They almost stuck together forever, remember it didn't bleed though. You gotta burn to learn, so learn to burn us up. Listen to how I murder, prefer to be heard, I serve it up. I ignite the left and right side of the brain. Then I find your head smoldering, hoping you so go insane. I'm holding a flame up to the open city gas line. No one ever get it lit, I'll explode and get blown to bits. Holy shit, I have to spit at half capacity so I don't combust. So good luck busting a rap after me.
Firefighters are always there to help. Don't ever hide from a firefighter. If your clothes are ever on fire, stop, drop, and roll.
Burning all MC's brains, blocking out the enemy. Step out the sight. Vicious with the verbs, I'm wordier. You wanna burn it up? Run on us like this. Live forever till you start burning all MC's brains.
I said, no, what? I got my 3 kids and we bounced out. We ain't gonna be in no fire, not today.
Woo! That was the bomb diggity diddly diddly doo doo doo. Sick track by my buddy Nayles. I'm gonna have to listen to that one again and again to catch all the pieces of hidden knowledge written in between the lines. And well, folks, that's it. That's it for another week of exciting adventures that all happen right here beyond the mat.